All right. So I want to talk about the Torah because it seems like a lot of Christians and many other nations do not understand the importance of Torah. So I want to talk a little bit about my experiences when it comes to the Torah. So the Torah, first you have to understand what it is. The Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible. From more specifically, the book of Exodus all the way to Deuteronomy. Yahuwah gives his laws, he gives his standard, he gives the feast days. All of those things are the Torah. The problem is Christianity hasn't taught you what the Torah is, so I gotta explain. Now, the Torah consists of many different facets of the way Yahuwah intended things to be done, be it marriage, be it the feast days, be it the Shabbats, be it the dietary laws, the moral laws. Everything that you need to understand about Yahuwah's righteousness is in the Torah. So I think it's important that people who are new to this study the first 5 books, study the laws. Now, the thing is, I'm gonna say this. The only laws that don't apply in Torah to us are the Levitical laws, which are the laws that apply to the Levites, such as, animal sacrifices, commemorating the temple, things like that. But for the most part, the dietary laws, the Shabbats, the feast days, the moral laws, all of those things you need to keep, okay? Not just the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments is a faction of Torah, but there are still feast days, Shabbats, and everything else you need to keep. A lot of people expect me to teach them how to keep the laws and stuff like that. But the thing is, you have to be reading the Bible for yourself. I always tell people this. You have to be reading the Bible for yourself. You need to understand these laws by reading the scriptures. Now, I'm here to help explain it to you, but you need to be reading the Bible. A lot of people I've noticed in this walk only want someone to give them all the answers, and they don't want to pursue Yahuwah and understand him and have a personal relationship. They want a relationship with Yahuwah through someone else. I cannot be that for you. I'm here to help you understand some things, but you need to be seeking Yahuwah for yourself. Now, the Torah is the standard of righteousness that Yahuwah has set forth for his people. The essence of Yahuwah's righteousness can be found in the Torah. The essence of Yahusha and his righteousness is found in the Torah. In Torah, I've been keeping Torah since 2019 when I first woke up. And it's helped me to understand Yahuwah. It's helped me to understand Yahusha. It's helped me to understand what he wants from me, what the Most High wants from me, what he requires of me. It's helped me understand what he hates, what he likes. See, the problem in Christianity is that they always tell you guys to just go straight to the so-called New Testament. Don't worry about the Old Testament or the so-called Old Testament. But the thing is, how are you going to understand Yahusha if you are not understanding why he had to come? Our people, Yasharal, were cursed by Yahuwah because we refused to keep the covenant. And the foundation of the covenant was the Torah. Our people continue to worship other deities. They continue to marry other nations. They were completely rebellious to the Torah itself. So you have to help me understand something here. If the Torah is done away, why was Yahuwah so angry with his people that he would allow them to go into slavery? He would allow them to be violated. He would allow them to be brought on slave ships in the worst conditions. If Torah didn't matter, we would have never had this happen to our ancestors. We would not be in America, in these lands of our captivity. We would not be serving the other mighty ones, which is one of the curses of Deuteronomy 28. You have to understand that as a Negro, it is our culture to keep Torah. It is our culture to keep the feast days. Yahuwah only gave his Torah to Jacob. Now, obviously, the other nations can be a part of the covenant, and they can also keep the laws and commandments. But what was for us was Torah. That's what set us apart from all the other nations. All the other nations out there, they were into paganism. They were into worshiping other deities. But when it came to us, Yahuwah gave us Torah. He gave us the instruction. And I made this album because the Torah is so important. And especially if you're grafted into Yahuwah and Yahusha, grafted into the nation of Yasharal, you also, as a Gentile, have to keep the Torah. It's crazy. We put so much energy into paganism. We put so much energy into these pagan holidays. But when it comes to Yahuwah and what he requires of us to be righteous, we make every excuse in the book why we don't need to keep the Torah. So we're going to look at a few scriptures here and put this to rest, because the lie that we don't need to keep the laws and commandments needs to stop. So we're going to look at a few scriptures here, and I'm going to just jump into this because I think that people don't understand the word of Yahweh. So we're going to start with the Mashiach. All right? And let's see what he says, because there's something he says that is probably not very mentioned in your pagan church. So let's bring it up real quick. We're going to go to the book of Matthew. This is chapter 13, and we're going to read verses 41 through 42. And it says, "The son of Adam, Yahusha, shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do transgress the Torah, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire, where there shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth." So people love to say that the Messiah did away with the law, but right here it says in the scriptures that he will cast all of those who transgress the law or the Torah. Well, that definitely is something that your pagan pimping pastor is not telling you. Let's take a look at another witness here. We're going to go to the book of Abarim, or Hebrews. This is chapter 10, and we are going to read 26 through 30. "For if we sin willfully after we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remains no more sacrifice for sins, but a certain fearful looking for of judgment and fiery indignation, which shall devour the adversaries. He that despises Moses' law dies without mercy by 2 or 3 witnesses." 29. "Of how much sorer punishment, suppose ye, shall he be thought worthy, who is trodden under foot the son of Elua, and is counted the blood of the covenant wherewith he is sanctified a unkadash thing, or unholy thing, and is done despite unto the ruach of mercy." 30. "For we know him that is said, vengeance belongs unto me, I will recompense, says Yahuwah, and again Yahuwah shall judge his people." So you have another witness here that's saying if you despise the law of Moses, you will be tossed into the lake of fire. The Torah is the law of Moses. Let me be clear. Yahushua HaMashiach did not preach a different law than what Moses gave to Yasharal by Yahuwah. Yahuwah relayed the Torah to Moses to relate to Yasharal, or the Israelites. Yahushua did not teach a different law. As a matter of fact, the Pharisees had their own man-made law, and they had an issue with Yahushua because he stood on the written law. So let's make no mistake here. The righteousness that Yahuwah had required of his people through Torah is what Yahushua taught. His death, burial, blood, sacrifice, and atonement for sin is based upon the law of Moses. So how in the world can you say you don't believe in the law? Then you don't accept his blood. The only way into the covenant and to come into covenant with Yahuwah is through Yahusha. So if you're saying that the law was done away, you are essentially saying that you do not adhere to the covenant and you do not accept the blood of the Lamb. The only way a person becomes the heir to the inheritance is by accepting the blood of the Lamb, which leads you into the covenant, and you gain an inheritance through your adherence to said covenant. The requirements of the covenant are to believe in Mashiach and to keep Torah. It's that simple. I don't know why Christianity has made this so hard for people to understand. But Christianity teaches a different doctrine that's not biblical, that's not scriptural, that has nothing to do with the Most High. All right, now, moving on. I'm going to show you guys another scripture. So what is sin? It's important when we understand and we define sin, we can prove why you need the Torah. So we're going to go to the renewed covenant again, and we're going to look at the scriptural example of what it says about sin. All right? So let's go to 1 John, Yehukanan Rishon, and let's read what it says about sin. I think it's very important you pay attention to this. Yehukanan Rishon, 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Whoever commits sin transgresses also the Torah, for sin is the transgression of the Torah. So you're not keeping the laws, you're sinning. So you think the law's done away? Your church is encouraging you to sin. Period, point blank. So look, I don't want to make this song too long, but I think that it's time Christians start reading the Bible for themselves and stop listening to these porky pig pagan pastors. Period. Shalom.
Hey, Yekcyr.